What is going on? It's Christian here. This video is about a blog post I wrote about how you should refactor your Angular apps. And this is to demonstrate the process I explained in this blog post to get your Angular apps clean and how you should do it continuously with this three-step process where you start separating the smart components and dumb components, and then you move business logic to component services. Have fun watching. So you see what I have here. I have my little to-do app here, and it's a pretty simple app, but I'm gonna use the simple app to demonstrate how to make it scalable. Let's look how it looks like. I'll just run it here. And we see we have this little nice app here. It's Danish. Probably don't understand that. You have this app here where you can choose between having cards and having a list. And this is for showing you to-do list, so you can get stuff done. Go to the gym and remember to work out, of course. So the way this app is structured is we have our feature modules like this in the outer level here. We have our shared for our shared components and pipes and other declarations, and then they have our singletons core services inside of core. Alright, so the way it's currently looking is we have the to-do list here that is for showing the actual to-do list, the thing you saw on this page here. And let's look. It's pretty simple app, but there are some principles I want to demonstrate here that is beneficial. And the first thing we're gonna be doing when we want to ensure a nice architecture is we want to ensure that we have separated what is our controller components and what is controller, or as you say, our smart components, or what is our dumb components, or you can call it presentation components. They only interact with inputs and outputs, and their sole purpose is to present something to the user. So they're basically wrapping HTML, CSS, and simple JavaScript, and then propagating whatever it needs to do either to outputs or to something I will show you later called, I call it a component service, but you might also want to call it a presenter because it's basically the same as a presenter from the MVP pattern you might know. Looking at this component here, the component list, we see that we have it's not too bad here. It's pretty simple, but let's imagine that this got cluttered with a lot of other logic, and we want to keep the use cases very clear from the components. So what we want to do is we want to create a dedicated service for this component, and to sync the lifecycle, we would love to do it like this with a view providers, and then provide it here. So that way we can also do the on destroy event on the service, and it will be synced lifecycle wise. If you look at the add to do, we see that this is a dumb component. It's not a completely dumb component because it also uses this. The thing we might want to do here is we might want to dump this down, at least create a clear segregation of what is the controlling part of this, what is the smart part of this, and what is the presentation part of this. We could keep this and maybe call this controller, and then we could make another component called DOM component, which is actually containing the presentation of that this component is containing right now. Let's go to this. Let's see. Hey, so what we're gonna do now is we are gonna refactor the add to do component. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna split the smart and the dumb part of this component. So the easiest way to do that is I have this tool here, it's called Angular Snippets. You can get it in VS Code. It's very good for quickly generate files. Call it Angular files, sorry. Quickly generate files. I want to generate a component called add to do dot presentation to indicate that it's a presentation component. And then I want to move like all the presentation logic down there to make it dumb. Move this down, moving the styling all the way down. The tests, I'm gonna deal with the test later. So the smart part of the smart component should take care of the actual logic, and the dumb presentation part should only present. Huh. Something is definitely didn't like that I called it that name. I probably should do something else. That I should call it something else. I should call it. I'm just rolling that back down here, rolling this one back, and generating it again. Sometimes it's just easier to generate it again. Add to do presentation. Now it's clear we have the presentation part here, and I'm gonna move the styling over once again. I'm gonna move the HTML over, and because this is a DOM component, it should only use inputs and outputs to interact. Let's look at what we have in the smart component. We need to have some the current to do. That's an input. Just doing like that. The next part is the loading. Let's see where it's actually used. It's used in the DOM components. We should probably just take this all the way down here. And that's also going to be an input. This. We're gonna have some save output, I can see. So let's have an event saved, and it's gonna be a new event emitter. And one type. That would be void event emitter. So I just moved it all over. Yeah. And so we're gonna call this from here. We are gonna going to, so first of all, the new presentation component is going to be used here at to do presentation component. Going to be used down here, and then going to use that name here for the tag, and we're going to provide some inputs. Let's just have a look at the component, what we need here. We need some save method. Huh. Yeah. I'll create the save method here. And that is gonna take, what's that gonna take? It's gonna take a to-do item, we call it. And of course, this is what is gonna be emitted here. And when we're saving, we're gonna take this that save dot emit, and then gonna emit it. I think, let's see what we have here. What else we have here? This is just gonna be hooked up to the loading stage, no big deal. Yeah, that's it. So now we have separated all the presentation part of the add to do. Now we're gonna focus on the smart component and making that a little more maintainable. We have a lot of logic here in the component, and you might know that components should be very slim to make the use case and intent very clear. So the way we're gonna deal with that is we're gonna create a service for this component, a presenter you can call. It's a dedicated service for the component to handle all the business logic here. But before we do that, we should probably get it working with the DOM component here. In the template, we're gonna provide data to get this working. Gonna set the current, we have the current to do here, it's gonna be set here. We have some loading state, loading, and that is loading. And then they have the save event. Save. It's gonna call our save. See it. It's providing a form. Yeah. And the form is right here. So we're just gonna change that. It's gonna be is that, what's that form? Is that an ng form? Yeah. So that's it, an ng form. with the old form here. Oh, ng form, have the form here, and that's going to be provided here. That should work. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Unexpected end of expression. Let's add to module. It's the of course it's a half method. Come on, man. And that looks more like that. And I did provide output saved. Loading is loading is not a known element. Input is loading. What do you mean? Did I remove it here maybe? No. It's loading. Add to do presentation. I don't know. But it is. It's not a known property of. And now it just works. So guys, next time if in doubt, just restart it. Let's try and test it out. So this add to do part, we can do like this, do like this. We can change it like that. And it's working like before. That's nice. Alright, next part is trimming down that smart component so it's not so fucking fat all the time. What we're gonna do is we're gonna generate a service and we're gonna call it the exactly same name add to do as the component. That's the convention I like to do it, to know that they are related. Now we have this one here, and the easiest way to migrate this is just take all these methods and copy paste them into here. Imports all the way, add all missing imports. Yeah, all of them. Also that, yeah. Editing index. That's definitely a detail we don't want to have in our component. So now we have it little just under the curtain, under the carpet. It's not here anymore. Maybe we actually need it. I don't know. We're gonna get it, and this is going to here. So we're gonna create the getter here, and it's gonna be for the editing index. Let's see if we can get rid of it. I think we need it for now. Also, these are definitely going to the service, and then we're gonna just have here. We're just gonna have properties actually for current to do, and it's gonna be to do item, and that's it. We're gonna remove that one. All it's gonna do is just delegate to the service, and we're gonna use this. So add to do service is gonna be import. It's gonna be provided using a view provider here, and now we can put it in here. Let's do nice, and all of this is simply gonna delegate to the service. These two are not here anymore. Look how slim it is right now. We don't even need this in here. I don't. So this is basically as slim as you can trim this. You can even we need to make this getter here, so we say get this and just make it return this dot add to the service that is loading. That's it. And then we need to remember the inputs. So we have this one was an input. Now it's all pushed back here. Let's see, you get some errors here. Save does not exist. What do you mean? I just need to save all. I think it's looking pretty good now. Let's see how it works. Of add to do. add to do. What do you mean? I just added it here. I think we ran into the same problem where I need to restart the development server once again. I'll see what's going on here. I should keep the same name. Shame on me. Just let it restart. Let's see if I can create a new to-do item here. And it works, that's nice. Sometimes you want to create a component service for the DOM components as well. The reason we're not doing it right here is, look at this, it's so simple already. You just create a useless extra layer of abstraction if you delegated this. This is pure delegation anyways to a service. So that's why we're not doing it here, but you could do it if you had some more complex logic you want to put away to make the component clear. Components should always be very clear to look at. The last fix we're gonna do is we're gonna fix the to-do list completed component. And this is a component with, we see it's basically the same case. You could split this to a DOM and smart component. I think it's pretty simple here for the template, so I'm not gonna do that split, but it's up to you if you want to do it in your project. But the thing that is beneficial to set up here is to set up a component service for handling the logic here. It's very simple here, but it might scale, and it's nice to have that set up. Also, it makes unit testing way easier because you basically only need to test on the service because it's containing all the business logic. And then you don't need to test on the component as much, which is components are slow to test when you use the test bed, and they are more fragile and error prone and take longer to test, and it provides less value to test it if it's not containing the real meat, the real business value. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna generate a new service. It's called to-do list completed, and once again it's gonna be a view providers, and to-do list completed service. That's right. Also, we should remember to remove these. These should not be here. They get out generated, and it should not be in the root scope. So, name of the game, we're gonna do the same thing once again. Sorry for saying Danish the default language. I'm gonna put that one up here. Gonna take this up here. And the thing is, this should just calling that one here, and it should I like to write it's public here. And what we're gonna do here, instead of using the to-do list service, we're gonna use the dedicated component service. To-do list completed service, to-do list completed service, and it's gonna be save this, so it's gonna calm down over here. Make that one public. I have to-do list completed service. Should be taking me to here. It's good, should be private. Yeah, now we have made the delegation to the component service, and we were able to move the to-do list service over to the component service. And let me just check, we clean that up here. So we have to-do list service here, we have using the add to do component service here. Yeah, so then just let's look if it's still working. We can complete this, and we see it here. So that's basically the administration of how you should go about refactoring your Angular application, starting with looking at the components and splitting that into the smart part that is doing the controlling of the logic, and the dumb presentation part, which is doing the actual presentation of the component. Then later, when you have too much business logic in the components, you're gonna create a dedicated component service, and you're gonna use that for delegating all the business logic to that component service. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe.